My name's David Gormley and I'm the manager of Brimhill FC. When I played, I was never one for keeping a score of my goals or whatever, a tally. I just used to go out each game and score. That was my goal, was just get a goal every game. I never ever said, oh, that's 20, that's 30, that's 40. I never ever had a landmark, but to this day I couldn't tell you how many goals I scored. When I played, I used to play up front. I was a forward. I was more of a link-up player. I didn't do much running when I played. I retired early because I got a bad knee injury when I was at Clyde in my second season with Clyde. We were playing Cowdenbeath away and I went to clear the ball in our box and the defender tackled me, and that defender was my own defender. He tackled me and injured me. I turned round to Robert Malcolm and Barry Ferguson at the time, was a manager and assistant manager, and told them I was injured, and they told me to play on, which was good. So, to be needless to say, I played on. That was in February. I played on for the rest of the season, taking painkillers, injections into my buttocks, and came to the end of the season and my knee was completely goosed and had to go for an operation, and I never ever recovered from that. I came back when I was at Clyde and tried to keep playing and kept breaking down, and then I signed for Pollock after Clyde, and I was never ever the same player I was, and I was trying to do things that I could do in my prime which just weren't possible, so I thought enough's enough and called it quits. It does. It's got to be one of the youngest managers in football. It's got its pros and cons. As I say that, I'm very young, as we've mentioned, and as I've mentioned, I'm a very young manager, very inexperienced manager, I must say. But I'm not long out of football. I know what the players want, I think. So I try and use that to my benefit, and I try and speak to them as much as a day-to-day possible as I can, get inside their heads, have a relationship with them, and try and work that way. All the managers I've played with have been more old school and more just get on with it and things like that. I've tried to use what I've learned from my recent playing career when I retired at 29, so I'm not long out of the game, and I'd like to think that's what I've got in my favour. Horrible. It's a gut-wrenching feeling, losing, and I don't know how people can. It affects me as a player. It affected me a wee bit. As a manager, it affects me massively.